gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Expecting a news conference here any second to talk about it. It's apparently going on right now, where 3 people were shot, 1 person has now died.
Let's listen in right now.
What exactly led to the shooting incident? The shooting appears to be targeted. It was not random. And we believe the suspects were inside of a vehicle. That's going to be a white sedan. We'll provide further updates on that vehicle through our public affairs unit for assistance from our community.
All right, guys. So I covered this earlier in the week, and I just did a short video on it, video from Fox. And we were talking about a triple shooting in the community. Teens involved, 1 dead. Almost qualifies as a mass shooting. We just missed the marker by 1 there, but this is not good. This is not something that we should be glorifying in the community. However, it is seemed, or it appears to be something that we are not actively condemning in the community and justifying at every turn. Now, people may wonder, hey, why am I saying that? And the reason why I say it is because that's what I see online, in person, when I talk to other people in the community about these things. There's always a displacement of blame. They want to blame the guns. They want to blame white supreme pizzas. They want to blame every other factor and individual except the culture that has permeated and created this festering of animosity amongst black men and black women. And, you know, it's quite sad.
If anyone saw or heard anything, please notify Crime Stoppers at 404-577-TIPS. Any questions?
Would you classify this as a drive-by shooting, is what we're being told from neighbors, that a car came up, opened fire on these kids just walking down the street?
So the suspects were inside of a vehicle, and they did shoot from the vehicle. So yes, they were inside a vehicle and shot at our victims.
All right, guys. So this is a drive-by shooting again. And the term in the community is sliding. They slid on the Opps and, you know, shot them down. So it's a perfect example of sliding and what sliding really means.
How many suspects?
We unknown right now, but definitely 1 and possibly 2. Definitely 1, maybe more than that.
What were you able to ascertain from surveillance video that we know would have been obtained from the mini mart here next door?
Say it one more time, I'm sorry.
What were you able to ascertain or witness based on the surveillance video from the mini mart next door?
Okay. We're ascertaining that the shooting incident did occur at this location. As far as what was on footage, we'll release at a later date once we gather more evidence to present to the community for assistance.
I know you said you're going to give more details on this car, but can you give us anything now?
It appears it's a white 4-door sedan that was involved in the incident, in the shooting.
And can you just talk a little bit, just outside of being, you know, a detective here too, is 2 days in the new year, you get 3 teens just down here walking the street shot. I mean, just not how you guys really want to start the new year.
No, not now, not ever. For shooting incidents, it's a high priority for us. This is a major priority. This is the crime where a death occurs to one of our citizens or residents that we need to identify the suspects involved and bring them to justice for the families and for our city.
Can you give us an age on the 3 victims that were shot, and then, of course, the one that has come to his injuries?
Yes, it appears our victim, the one is going to be 19 years old, and the others between the ages of 19 and 21.
And we do have an identity of the victim who passed away, so we're going to get into that as well, because it could tell us a lot about maybe his activities and if he was participating in demon time activities, which it appears that he was.
All right.
And were they all males?
All males, yes.
You know if they lived in this area?
Still working to confirm.
And as far as the suspects, what are we looking for? Males, females?
Right now, we're looking for a vehicle, and we're going to use our resources to identify that vehicle and see who's inside that vehicle and get the suspects identified.
Can you tell us, like, there's quite a scene over there with stuff scattered, a lot of evidence. Can you talk about it? Yeah, what can you tell us about that?
Well, as for all crime scenes, we always look to identify objects of evidence, and some may or may not be the evidence that we're looking for. Just standard.
Was this, at this point, can you determine whether this was just some sort of, you said they knew each other, so it's not random, right?
Correct. It does not appear to be random.
That led to this that you can tell? Or?
Most certainly it should be a dispute that led to the shooting incident. As I stated, I don't want...
So these disputes that they're talking about most likely happen online, right? Instagram Live, Facebook Live, getting in the comments section, talking crap back and forth. I'll do this to you, I'll do that to you. And the cycle continues.
To have a narrow view on what led to the shooting incident. It's very open to be wide open to what occurred. But once we identify what occurred, we're going to use that for our case. All right.
You've been listening to a press conference held by Atlanta Police Department regarding a triple shooting in the Ralph David Abernathy area in Atlanta. Police are telling us there is no threat to the public. This was a targeted shooting. They are now looking for a suspect, possibly more than one person, driving a white four-door sedan.
Yes, as you heard them talk about, still a lot of questions on what's happened out there, and crime scene investigators out there, and our Adam Murphy was asking questions about where all this stands. A lot of questions on this, but they're really focused on that white sedan, a four-door that they want to find. They believe that will lead them to where the rest of this is happening. So we have a team of reporters out there right now, and as we get more information, we will pass it on to you.
Noon, we now know the identity of the victim killed in a shooting in Southwest Atlanta.
Atlanta News First Bridget Spencer is live for us on Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, and police are still looking for the suspects who opened fire, Bridget.
That's right, they are. And also, the medical examiner has now identified that shooting victim as Montravious Pitts. Now, we are standing right at the intersection of Ralph David Abernathy and Windsor Street. This is right where that drive-by shooting happened, here on the sidewalk in broad daylight yesterday. Now, there were some horrifying moments, as you can imagine, for this neighbor who came right out of her front door and saw the young man lying on her porch, the other two in the front yard. Now, all people were taken to the hospital, but Montravious Pitts, we're told, did not make it.
So there you have it. Our victim, who was shot and killed on Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, right? A known civil rights leader. Got a street named after him, and the street is essentially soiled. It's tarnished. Okay? This is insane. Okay? It's absolutely ridiculous. But we have a young man who lost his life participating in the op culture. And, you know, it's kind of what we expect at this point. But it hurts every single time.
Officers and crime scene investigators spent hours here at the scene collecting evidence. The neighbor who saw the victim on her front porch described to Atlanta News First the harrowing moments when she heard the gunfire and she ran outside.
I got on my knees when I saw him on the porch. I got on my knees. I prayed. I prayed to God.
So this sister cares. We got real tears coming from the community. This is a first.
And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do.
The shooting appears to be targeted. It was not random. And we believe the suspects were inside of a vehicle. That's going to be a white sedan.
Now, we have been in touch with APD. There's no further suspect description beyond a white sedan at this point. But as you can see, this is a very busy area of Atlanta, and this happened in broad daylight around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. If you know anything or if you saw anything, you're urged to contact APD. You might just help them find the suspect or suspects. We're live in Southwest Atlanta. Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Montravious Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetizing shadow banning this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, Don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
And it's not something you're gonna wanna see. This is not the start to the year Atlanta wanted. Only 3 days in, January 3rd, and already 6 people have been shot across the metro in 12 hours. City.
God, 3 days in, 6 people shot within 12 hours. And Andre Dickens has the nerve to tell you that crime is down. Crimes against people are down, according to Mayor Dickens. It's a slap in the face. Truly is.
Leaders will speak about how they're going to tackle all this violence in the coming year.
And tonight, Deirdre Pitts, the grandmother of a teenager killed in one of those shootings, she's pouring out her grief in an exclusive interview with Atlanta News First anchor Tori Cooper. Tori joining us now here live in studio. Tori, you spoke with her. She's calling for change.
Savannah, Miss Pitts is fed up. She says enough is enough. She says too many times teens are picking up weapons instead of finding a solution to conflicts. And now she's planning her grandson's funeral instead of his next birthday.
So there you have it. And here's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if her kid was participating in this type of activity too. You know, a lot of times that is how you get that type of target on your back, where you got people riding around, driving around and identifying you, and then, like I described before, sliding on their ops. So, you know, she probably should have said something to him, spoke to him, said, hey, you can do much more with your life than going on back and forth on social media with these guys for no reason and manufacturing ops, as I would like to say, creating conflicts, creating problems, creating issues for you to feel like some type of tough guy, only for your life to be taken. These super gremlins are on demon time.
You're never too old for your grandma's hug.
That was my baby, and I'm gonna miss him.
Even though Deirdre Pitts is not your grandma, she was someone's grandma. And even though I got this hug right here, she'd much rather be hugging her own grandson.
Well, I was praying that was in my mind that he's making it. He was gonna make it. I would never thought it was that bad.
She spent the last 24 hours crying and grieving her grandson, 18-year-old Montravious Pitts.
And y'all know how it be. It sounds like she raised him, because we ain't talking to mama, we talking to grandma. So he was a grand ninja. I'm telling you, it's 2 types of grand ninjas. Now, if they're just raised by grandma, it's over. If they raised by grandma and granddaddy, then he has a chance. But just grandma, and I'm not saying that she was even a bad grandma. I'm just saying she can't control him at a certain age. He gonna do what he want. And I'm sure she said, baby, stop doing this, and baby, stop doing that. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. Maybe she endorsed it. Maybe she backed it. Maybe she was like FBG Duck's mom and you know, put fuel on the fire. She could have possibly even been going back and forth online with the ops. Who knows? But these grand ninjas are definitely at a high risk of being a perpetrator of these demon time activities or being a victim.
Because of that, she didn't want to show her face on camera.
This is my grandboy, and he was a good kid. And he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Police say her grandson, Montravious, was one of 3 young men targeted in a drive-by shooting Tuesday here along Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard. All 3 made it to the hospital, but Montravious didn't make it out.
I just try to keep thinking about the good things that happened with him. All the good times.
And she's saying he was a good boy. Let's take her word for it. Maybe he could have been involved with those other 2 guys, right? Who were participating in the op culture. So you got to be very particular about who you befriend as well.
Deirdre holds on to what she has left of her grandson's imprint on this world. She says he's not just a statistic. He's a representation of what will keep happening if things don't change.
Now grandma talking some sense.
Happening if things don't change.
I think we need to all, like, get together and talk to these kids more. Take these guns away.
Now, and
so she's talking about a kumbaya session. And that sounds fine and dandy, but I don't think these super gremlins really want to sit down and talk it out. From my understanding, there's a song called Pull Up and Air It Out. So if you try and get these guys in one room, they're going to air it out. How about saying we need the police to come in and take these individuals who keep doing these types of things off the streets?
in just a few hours, Mayor Andre Dickens and the Atlanta Police Department will be holding a press conference where they will be laying out their crime reduction plan for 2024. We will share that with you right here on Atlanta News First. I also reached out to the Atlanta Police Department to see if they had any updates on the car that they are searching for or any of the other victims and how they're doing, and they were not able to share an update with us tonight.
Woo! And the suspects got away clean, and this is why they slide. Slide in, slide out, and they get up on out of here. These super sliding gremlins are on demon time.
Alan?
All right, Tori, thank you.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.